This is Tony Reid with Rattling the Cage for Tap Out and MMA Worldwide Magazine, joined by Mr. Mike Brown. Mike, how you doing? Good. So we'll just jump into some questions here. I know we're here, MGM, UFC 155 coming up here, so Mike's here supporting Brad, of course, and we'll just jump into some questions here. Can you talk about the significance and the meaning behind the tattoo on your chest?
Yeah,
I know it's a very random first question.
No, it's a good one. It's when did I get it? I think I got it in 2007. It was in memory of my mom, who passed away, and she was really into angels. She had like tons of like angel knickknacks and angel this and angel that, and I kind of got it in memory of her. I'm not a religious guy.
Yeah.
I don't really believe in angels, but I love the idea. And it would be really cool if, she was an angel and was like looking upon what I was doing. But I'm more of a realist, and I don't quite believe that. But it was like a dedication to her.
Very cool. If you could choose only one outfit or costume to wear for every social gathering for the rest of your life, because I know you're into the costumes. What one would you have to choose? Is there a favorite out there?
Costume, man.
Because I know you've been known to.
Geisha girl.
I like it.
Brad said a geisha girl.
I don't know.
You can't narrow it down,
I used to go around. We used to go this was when I used to party a little more. I used to go to like nightclubs sometimes with like an afro wig and like Napoleon Dynamite glasses on. And it was pretty funny, man. It made like a lot of conversation.
Yeah.
When I went out, so maybe I'd go with that.
Stick with that one forever. Okay, fair enough. So you've had a lot of previous real-world experience, including being a gas station attendant, a cashier at Sam's Club, professional mover, among other things. Give us the good, the bad, and the ugly of working in the real world.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was also a produce clerk for a while.
Nice.
Yeah. My worst job I ever had was working as a mover.
Yeah.
That was the worst job. Like, I did it for a summer, and it's just like big, huge moves, and it never ended. So you know how it sucks when you move, like all the heavy
Once
stuff.
every
like
6 years.
Yeah, like, the furniture. But it's like, either it's like crazy rich people with like tons and tons of stuff that like, you're just there days like lifting all the stuff, or it's businesses.
Yeah. And
it's big, awkward, heavy stuff, up staircases. It was the worst job. But it really makes you appreciate the dollar. Like, like if I never valet park or anything like that, because I always think like $5. It's like an hour's worth of work.
Heck yeah.
Thinking way back when I was making like $7 or $8 an hour when I working a tough job, it makes me appreciate the value of a dollar, I guess.
Very cool, very cool. So the R word has been mentioned off and on with you for some time now. You say that you don't want to be wishy-washy about making that decision. Can you talk about how torn a fighter can be when trying to decide whether to hang it up or not, or what your body's telling you, or if you have a good performance, at 146, you had a great performance, but at the same time we're kind of concerned. Can you talk about like that dynamic?
I always knew it would be difficult deciding when, but it's even more difficult than I imagined. I've been contemplating retiring for a while now, and mostly because of injuries. We've had a lot of them, and it's like trying to get healthy and where is the line? How much am I going to let things get broken out before I finally, go away? Because I still perform well, and I still can train, but it's just I'm really sore and a lot of achy, and I'm getting, a lot more injuries all the time. I'm having a lot of surgeries. Now, from wrestling and fighting, I've had 10 orthopedic surgeries. So It's like, I got a lot of broken parts, And after a surgery, they're never quite the same. You can get it back to like 90%, 80%, maybe 95%, but it's never 100% after surgery.
Yeah.
So I have, everyone's got a bad something. I got a bad elbow, whatever. I got a bad bunch of things.
But, you have a bad body. No.
Yeah, I got a bad body, but I still love the sport, man, and it's really hard. I love to compete. I've been kind of branching out coaching a little bit, but it makes it even harder because I just want to get in there really badly.
That's what I was actually going to ask next. Where do you see, as far as obviously your love for the sports, you're going to stay involved and probably going to be in a coaching
Yeah,
capacity?
I'm coaching now. Like they officially hired me on as a coach at American Top Team, so I'm doing that. So I love it. It's a dream job. I couldn't imagine a better job.
Better than moving. right?
Way better than the movie. I mean, it's not working. It's obviously what I would do. I would do it for free.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. I never dreamed in a million years this is how life was going to turn out. When I grew up, my parents always had jobs they didn't like,
Sure, yeah.
and I would complain about school, and they'd be like, well, get used to it because life sucks, and it gets worse when you get older, and I thought like, oh man, life is rough, like I'm going to have a job. I didn't think anybody enjoyed their job, but it's amazing that you can actually do something that you love. And I'm also branching out. I partnered up with a guy. I opened a fight shop in Pompano Beach. It's called Only One Fight Shop. So I'm like trying to do other things. That way I'm not so dependent on fighting for my income.
Sure.
But now I can more fight for the love of it, not because oh my God I need to get a paycheck.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's getting better.
So we'll jump into some questions, some general stuff as well. If you could choose one fight from your career that you want every MMA fan to see, I think I know where you might go with this one, but which fight would you choose and why?
I mean, probably the first one with Uriah, just because it was a crowning moment of winning the title and being considered the number one guy in the world at the time. I mean, I had some other great fights, but I would go with that first one.
Sure. Again, if you could fight anyone in any weight class, is there a guy out there that you'd want to test your skills against, as far as whether you're a fan of the guy or someone stylistically,
probably
or someone you just
Brad Pickett.
He sat up as soon as we said.
I already heard that. Yeah, I'd fight Brad in a second.
How would that fight go down?
It would be a one-sided beatdown.
I think his calf.
Calf.
Yeah, I would just, beat him into submission. It'd probably be, I visualize probably him tapping to strikes.
Oh, man.
So I don't know what you call it. Is that a TKO or is that a submission? I'm not sure. It might be both. And it would probably be around the 90-second mark.
If I get out,
if he ran.
The thing would be is if I get out the first round, he's done. He's a one-round world champion.
Oh, there you go.
That's all I would need.
We're gonna have a fight like in the hotel room here in a minute. No, teasing, of course. So, who are your favorite fighters to watch as a fan of the sport? Obviously, you have a great love of the sport. Who do you like watching as a fan?
Oh man, there's a lot of guys. I'm trying to think. Old school fighters, probably.
I love the old school. We'll go old school.
Back in the day, my favorite fighter was probably Genki Sudo.
Nice.
Not because he was the best fighter in the world, just because of his showmanship. Yeah, he was like popping and locking in the middle of fights and stuff.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Absolutely.
But man, as far as fighters, I like watching Brad fight.
Yeah.
Brad's, really fun to watch.
He liked that answer, I think.
Thiago Alves is amazing. Fedor was always been one of my favorites to watch. I mean, there are a lot of names are slipping out of my mind right now, but I'm a big fight fan, so there are a lot of guys I like to see.
Sure. So I'll ask you the same question I asked Brad. I like to get people's opinion on this type of thing. Who are the people that inspire you? Obviously, we touched on your mother in that situation a little bit. Are there people either personally or professionally that kind of reason you get out of bed in the morning or something along those lines type of thing?
Like a long time I think I liked, and I still do, I almost like fight for my friends. I see like they get excited when I'm doing well, and it gives them something to talk about and amongst their friends, and then like sometimes that drives me. It's like I've kind of created my own family. I didn't have a large family, but I kind of created my own family of which I think is better sometimes. If you don't like your, everybody's like, oh, I can't stand my uncle, but they always hang around. I've never kind of got that.
Yeah.
I almost like it better what I've done. I've kind of created my own family, pick and choose people I really like, and brought them in really close and made them my family. And I like to make them proud. I like to make my friends and family proud. And I think that's why I do what I do, and it gives me the drive to train hard every day.
Very cool. So, many professional athletes have strange superstitious habits. I know you're an interesting guy. Are there any weird superstitions or habits you have that...
Had a couple, but they always end up falling to pieces. Three that stand out in my head was back when I was first started fighting in small shows. It used to be like you bring your own gloves. And I had
crazy stories.
You just bring your own gloves. And I had a pair of gloves that I was like 5-0 in, and I thought like I'm indestructible if I wear these gloves. But then I ended up losing, so that was out. And then red shorts. I did really well with red shorts. And then once I remember I didn't get red shorts, and I was really upset about this. I was like, contacting my manager and freaking out, like, man, I said red trunks. They only brought me black and white. I was upset, And then I ended up losing in red trunks as well. So that was out. And then my last one was Vegas. I had a Vegas curse. I think I lost 3 fights in Vegas. And then I finally won my last fight in Vegas. So
very cool.
Those were all my superstitions, and they all didn't hold up. So.
Yeah. And you've been in the sport a long time, over a decade now. What is the most amazing thing you've seen in regards to growth of MMA? Not even necessarily the UFC, but just the sport since you've been involved.
TV, man. Just having it on TV. Like, now there's like small shows, and you can watch UFC almost every night.
Yeah,
not UFC, MMA every night. And I remember I was a junkie back in the day where I was an MMA junkie back in the day. I couldn't
I'll make sure to throw in MMA junkie.
Every now and it was so long until the next event. It was like 3 months, and it was like when a UFC came up, it was like Christmas.
Absolutely.
Oh, this is better than Christmas. I couldn't wait, and I wouldn't miss an event. Now there's so many. I mean, you can flick it on. It's as common as Major League Baseball on television, and I never thought that was going to happen. That it was going to be that. Yeah. Well, I always knew it was going to be really big, but I didn't think it was going to happen that quick.
Yeah.
I'm like, by the time I'm really old and die, this is going to be huge, and everyone's going to watch it.
Yeah.
But it happened in 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
It was much quicker than I thought.
That's crazy. So that's all I have. Is there anything you want to say before we sign off?
No, check out AmericanTopTeam.com. That's where I'm training and coaching, and my website's MikeBrownMMA.com. Thanks to who else do I got to thank? Only One Fight Shop. That's my shop, and Top Secret Nutrition. They're one of my sponsors, and I think that covers everybody.
Very cool. Tony Reid, Rattling the Cage, Tap Out Magazine. Mike Brown signing off.